part of how we as House Democrats view this moment. Either MAGA extremists are going to break the country or we're going to break them. And our goal is to break them. We will defeat them. We have to beat them electorally, and then we have to break their spirit because of the extremism that's being unleashed on the American people. That's completely and totally unacceptable.
Look, I get it. We're all upset about what happened in Kentucky last night. But let me tell you what, there are a couple things that we need to go over as a class that no one on the mainstream news is going to say, because guys, I'll remind you, look at who the mainstream news is now owned by. All right? Here are a couple things. And if you choose not to listen to this video to the end, you do so at effectively your own peril. No, I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm saying these are 5 things every single voter who is not voting MAGA needs to understand about what is going to happen next. Point 1. I understand. Every time I look at the news, the mainstream media, what do I see? Oh, Trump is losing support with this group or that group, or his poll numbers are lower than they've ever been. And I took that sort of at face value, and I think a lot of us do, and we go, oh, well, that's great. That means he's losing support, means fewer people are going to turn out, means he has less political capital, political power. But no, because guys, I spent hours last night pouring through the information that I'm going to go over in here, and I'm going to try to, keep the little 5 points as quick as possible. In the last month, 55 Trump-endorsed candidates, and that's from local government all the way up to the top, have won their primaries. 55. I know that the mainstream media comes with the story that, oh, he's losing support, blah, blah, blah. But think again about who owns the mainstream media. And maybe that sounds conspiratorial, but guys, look, polling measures public sentiment, emotion. Primaries measure organized power. And you cannot deny that Trump still has the power over the Republican Party. Because you guys have to look at what happens, right? Again, public sentiment doesn't win elections. Primaries do, elections do, ballots do. So what happens? Trump says, that guy, vote for him. That guy, get rid of him. And his base follows. They reward loyalty and discipline dissent. And what happened with Massey? That's just a warning shot. Because in the event that, and you guys can see, look at what just happened in Louisiana with Cass. Trump still has the magic. Whether we hate that or not, it's still there. He has a spell over the little MAGA cult. Because what he's telling Republicans, this is a warning shot, is, hey, if the Dems take control of the House or even the Senate in 2026, any of you who decide to vote with the Democrats, you will be primaried in 2028, and I will your political career. Polls measure public mood. Primaries measure organized power. Point 2, GOP. Look, guys, it brings me no joy to give the GOP or MAGA any credit at all. But guys, look, they keep winning, so you have to pay attention to what's happening. What's happening? The GOP, which I'll just call MAGA from here on in because it's one and the same. MAGA has a figurehead. He says, hey, little bots, MAGA, this is the candidate, go vote. They don't have to think. They don't have to question. They just go, Daddy Trump said vote for him, so we go vote for him. And y'all, as much as you hate that, and you can call them stupid and sheeple, and they go vote. And they win primaries because they understand he's in charge. We're the foot soldiers, and they do exactly what they're told. That is exactly why MAGA is so dangerous. They do not behave like a political party with thinking members. Behave like a cult of personality built around one person. Why we call them a cult. And the Democrats, we have the exact opposite problem. Because you guys, look, it has been 18 months, almost 18 months since Trump has been reelected. And look, no figurehead, no unified messaging, nothing. The Democrats are flailing still. And yes, we're making progress with candidates like Graham Plattner. But guys, that's one person. And I know that Democrats pride ourselves on thinking independently. But you also have to understand that what's happening in a lot of these primary races is the candidate on the GOP side, they win overall. Whereas on the Dem side, you have people who are splitting the ticket because it's disorganized chaos. You do not beat organized power with scattered frustration. You beat organized power with organized turnout for one candidate. I know it's going to be unpopular for me to say this, but you guys, Democrats have philosophical debates about who the better candidate is or waiting for the perfect candidate, while MAGA candidates fill out ballots and vote. Point 3, and I don't even know what to say to any Democrats or independents who are not voting at this point, okay? Margins win elections, guys. These elections are not being won in a landslide. The 2024 election, not won in a landslide. It was won because 1/3 of the goddamn electorate didn't bother to vote. Look at what happened in 2020, right? Biden wins Arizona by about 10,400 votes. He wins Georgia by another 11,000 and something votes. Those are margins in states with millions of voters. And then look at 2024, where Trump wins Wisconsin by 30,000 votes. 30,000 votes. And Nevada with 46,000 votes. Guys, come on. Nobody can skip an election. I get it. If you're in a red state, I'm in a red state. I live in Louisiana. But every single vote matters. It's a few thousand here, a few hundred there. That's how you win. GOP voters, like take Louisiana, for example. There are more registered Democrats in Louisiana than there are Republicans. But guess what? It doesn't matter because those are votes on paper, in theory. Because what happens is when it comes time to vote, the people who turn out are the Republican voters. And you saw that happen across many, not all, but many of the primaries across the last couple days, including in Louisiana. More Republicans voted. I mean, guys, every vote counts, period. Every single vote. Point 4, and I'm sure you guys have heard about this IRS slush fund with, I think it's $1,776,1776 effectively. And guys, let's cut the turd, all right? This is what it is. Y'all know what it is. They're saying, okay, we're basically going to compensate, right? Not going to go directly to them, but Todd Blanchard was like, yeah, I mean, we could use it to compensate the J6 the traitors, the ones who tried to have an insurrection. And y'all, I don't want you to miss the forest for the trees. This is a dog whistle. When Trump says, I want an election integrity army at every poll, blah, 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 please know that this happening right here, this 1776 fund, this is a dog whistle. He's saying, hey, there's a huge pot of money that I can use any way that I see fit. And that, look, I have already rewarded and am getting ready to reward people who broke the law to protect Daddy Trump. So what he's saying is, hey, you election integrity army, you good old boys out there in the South and in, all these areas, I want you to, what did he say? Stand by. Right? Stand back and stand by. He's telling these people, if you go to the polls and you engage in mayhem in my name, don't worry about it. You get arrested, it's cool. I got you because I have this huge slush fund of money to take care of your problems if you get in trouble. Oh, and it doesn't hurt that he's also the president and he can pardon them. So I just want to make sure that y'all don't miss that fact. And point 5. The Democrats must stop nominating and electing lukewarm candidates. The reason why MAGA is so powerful is they have a unified, very, very far right message. Guys, that's it. No more lukewarm politics. Hey, our people on the left, no AIPAC money, get rid of Citizens United, tax the rich, work for the American people. That's it. No, we need to be so far left. There is no come to the center. That shit is over. All right. We need to be just as far to the left as they are to the right. That's it. Stop trying to pander to both sides. It is no longer good enough for us to have candidates who are simply not MAGA. Wait
a second. Help me out here. I thought they told us that MAGA was finished. I thought they told us Trump was finished. Seriously. For months, the online conversation was basically Trump has lost control of the Republican Party. MAGA is fading. The movement is divided. And then tonight happens. Ed pulls off a massive primary win with President Trump backing him very strongly. And suddenly, people are changing their story. What's interesting to me isn't even just the win itself. It's how different the real world results were compared to the online narrative. Because if you lived only on social media today and for the past 3 months, you probably would have thought the momentum was completely on the other side. But turns out elections are still decided by actual voters. And tonight was another reminder that Trump's endorsement still carries serious weight inside the Republican Party, whether people want to admit it or not. And honestly, this race became way bigger than just Kentucky. People were watching this as a test of where the Republican base actually is right now. Today was a big day politically, folks, and I'm happy. Have a great night, Patriots.
This is going to backfire badly for Donald Trump, and it's happening already. Specifically, what took place in the primary elections this week, where Thomas Massie, the longtime Republican representative from the state of Kentucky, just lost his seat because Trump and AIPAC both put all their support behind an opponent, Ed Galbraith, to get Massie out of re-election. Right now, a lot of MAGA cult members, a lot of right-wing extremists are celebrating this as a good thing. They see this as a victory for Trump. They see this as another loyalty test that everybody passed. But here's the thing, folks. Trump may have used up the last of his goodwill, the last of his political capital right here because, well, just anecdotally, I've got Republican friends texting me outraged saying they're voting Democrat in 2028, which is insane. But the reality is Massey represents the dying breed of a real Republican, somebody who claims to want fiscal conservatism and small government. Massey was leading the charge on the Epstein files. Massey was trying to cut off U.S. support for Israel. These are things that are incredibly popular among the American people, and the Republican Party is not going to adapt fast enough.
The state of Louisiana in 2025 deported multiple children, one of whom was born in New Orleans and had brain cancer. Donald Trump got the pro-life, Bible-thumping Republican Party to say, yes, we want more of that. So I have no doubt in my mind that the map's going to pass. If y'all can give us less than 0 seats, you would do it. Y'all do this under the orders of somebody that said the Civil Rights Act was harmful to white people, that it caused reverse racism. RFK said that black children are overfilled on antidepressants and that they need to be reparented on different forms. If you wasn't with this map, you wouldn't be underneath this president, you wouldn't be in your party. And I believe the country as a whole is rebuking your party. Y'all are in a death spiral. That's why y'all have to redistrict. That's why y'all have to cheat. It's because y'all know what y'all doing is abhorrent. But the beautiful thing is, the children that y'all have made and the people that's younger than y'all don't support none of this racism that y'all want. The MAGA party is the last breath of the Confederacy, and I'll be happy to see millennials and Gen Z bury y'all. There will be no more of your party. The midterms gonna come, y'all gonna get wiped out. Trump gonna get dragged out of the White House, and I'ma love every second of it. Because y'all loved every second of the suffering that he caused to everybody in this country. And worldwide, we starve in Cuba. We bomb Nigeria. We holding Zimbabwe and Zambia hostage for their minerals. We don't want to give them aid support. The pro-lifers that say all life is special, y'all letting kids die of AIDS. What part of your Bible say that? Point out the scripture. I think everybody would love to see it. And we would love to see y'all in the midterms.
Thank you for your testimony, sir.
Welcome to News with Innocent, your trusted source for breaking news, trending stories, celebrity updates, and world events. We bring you fast, accurate, and engaging news every day. Subscribe and stay informed with the latest updates happening around the world. Breaking political news from the United States. Some analysts and political commentators are now questioning whether Donald Trump's influence inside the Republican Party is beginning to weaken after political developments in Kentucky and growing divisions within conservative politics. But is this really the end of the MAGA movement, or just another political battle inside the Republican Party? Let's break it all down. Why people are saying Trump's influence is changing. In recent months, some Republican politicians have started distancing themselves from Trump-style politics. Internal party disagreements have become more visible. Elections and political endorsements are being closely watched for signs of changing voter attitudes. Kentucky became part of this conversation after debates over party direction and leadership intensified. What is the MAGA movement? MAGA stands for Make America Great Again. The movement became strongly associated with Donald Trump during his presidency. Supporters say MAGA represents strong border policies, national economic protection, conservative values, America First policies. Critics argue the movement created political division and polarization. Why some Republicans are divided. Inside the Republican Party, there are now different groups. Some Republicans still strongly support Trump because they believe he changed conservative politics. They support his immigration and economic policies. They see him as a fighter against political elites. Others want a new direction because they fear the party could lose moderate voters. They want younger leadership. They believe the party should move beyond Trump-era politics. Why Kentucky matters politically. Kentucky is important because it is considered a strong conservative state. Republican politics, there often reflect broader national debates. Political shifts in conservative states can signal bigger national trends. Analysts are watching closely to see whether Trump-backed politics remain dominant. Is this really the end of MAGA? Political experts say Trump still has a large loyal supporter base. MAGA remains highly influential in Republican politics. Internal party battles are normal during election periods. At the same time, new Republican leaders are trying to shape the future direction of the party. How this affects American citizens. These political divisions could affect future elections, immigration policy, economic policy, international relations, public trust in political leadership. Many Americans are closely watching how the Republican Party evolves. So what do you think? Is Trump still the future of the Republican Party? Or is American politics moving in a different direction? Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe. Like and share for more breaking news and political